bother. It's funny, but don't get down on yourself, okay? We are going to do something that you probably have never done before. So enjoy it, okay? All right, facing the wall, but advancing to the field, okay? I'll try to call out as much as I can. Your job is just to enjoy it. Okay, good Tai Chi posture, facing the wall, dropping those shoulders, middle finger to the side seam, sinking your chest, tucking your butt, relaxed knees, tongue on your palate, chin down. I'm gonna bring my foot in a little bit more, okay? Commencing form, 50-50. Drain the weight off of our left so that our heel can come up on our sole, on our toe, 95, 100, open, toe, sole, arch, heel. 50-50, hands rotate to the middle of our thighs. Take a deep breath in as you elevate both hands, making yourself big. Then at shoulder level, dropping your shoulders, tucking your butt, flexing your knees, dropping your wrists and your elbows. T stance, left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top to hold your ball. We know that this is a T stance. The next thing that comes up is an L stance. Out and to the side, move that ball, part the wild horse's mane. Stretch. Sit back, sit down. Pivot out. Right hand on the bottom to hold your ball on a T. Out on an L, move that ball, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down. Pivot out. Hold your ball for better balance. Out on an L, move that ball, part the wild horse's mane. Half step forward, hold your ball. Spin your ball to the right, lift up the right hand, lift up the left foot, point it down, white crane spreads its wings. Drop your front foot, right hand draws imaginary line through your belly button, look back at your back hand that's higher, parallel and higher. What are we gonna do? We're gonna multitask. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot out, parallel higher on a T. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, sit down. Pivot out, parallel higher on a T. Ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Half step forward, sit back on your back foot, bring the left foot to your toe, rock on it and put it on its heel and play your lute. Weight on the back. This is the place where you say, wow, it's hurting on my right foot. Then you know what I mean, okay? Then you're building strength. You are playing your lute now. Okay, very good. Okay, very, very good. So, believe it or not, you have done commencing form, parting of the wild horse's mane, white crane spreads its wings, brush knee, which is number 4, and you also played your lute. You learned 5 movements in this one experience, and they are the first 5 movements in Yang 24. Is that amazing? You shook your head. Is that amazing, or is it too hard? How many say it's hard? I agree. It is hard, but do we stay away from it if it is hard? No. Okay. So we're in for the challenge. We're in for Tai Chi for health reasons. Every time we move, we're gaining more strength in the limbs that we need strength in. We're learning about our body because everything has an important part. When you start to tune in and you listen to your body, you know exactly when you are at risk or what you can do to counter a risky event or an experience, okay? So I'm gonna give you a rest because I think you need to not hear me and hear somebody else.
You all seem to be taking on the challenge pretty well. What I want to do is go back to a little bit more basic in terms of footwork, foot position. And we have something in this room that we may not have in other rooms. That is, the tiles help us orient how our foot should be, okay? The basic Tai Chi position of a bow step is, you see if we're parallel like this, we have two lines of the square that this way. So for me, it's about right on the line for each side makes it, because my shoulders are almost at that level. So when you begin, your feet should be both parallel and in alignment with the line, straight forward, okay? And then when she says, for the Tai Chi walk, step out, you step out and you look at the diagonal of one of the tiles, okay? And if you approximate that position, you are at 45 degrees by definition, okay? 90 degrees and a half of 90 degrees is 45 degrees. So you go half of the 90 degrees, 45 degrees. And then you put your weight on that, and this becomes a substantial foot, and this foot comes up. And the tendency is to just do this, but you're going to end up with another 45 degree going in that direction. But you should be walking in forward. So you come forward and to the side, but you stay in line with the straight line here, and you come down. So now, at the end of your step, you're in the bow step now. The front foot is straight forward. The back foot is at 45 degrees, okay? That's how it should be. Right now, people are having problems because I see some people are walking off and veering off to this side, and some people are duck walking up the road. But we can't do that, okay? So we're here, we sit back, and what do? 45 degrees, diagonal to the square. Get on there, stable position, bring the other foot up, drop with the heel here, and the foot drops straight down on the line, going forward. Coming back, turn 45 degrees, 90 degrees, straight forward, okay? So you say, well, that's well and good if we're doing 16 or we're doing 24. But the same thing happens. I think when we're doing the 10 form, which is what eventually, this course used to be, quote, the 10 form, but we hope you get close to that, or at least you have the basics that we're trying to teach, and you get pretty close to mastering the positions. But a similar thing is here. You got the T-step here, and you're coming out, and this time, what you want to do is come out and straight. This is going to be a 90 degree. You come down straight here, and then you turn the foot to make the 45 degree. Okay? That's the first shot. When you come back on the twist step, you turn, and you try to make this a 45 degree. It's more than you're from here, and you want to go to basically 135 degrees for the geometrists. And then, so you're at 45 degrees, and you're here, and this comes out straight down on the line. Okay? Sit back, 135 degrees, sit back, T-step, and out. And she says out to the side, and it is out to the side, but sometimes to help us, maybe it should, because we're oriented in this position, sometimes adding another word, out and to the side and back. That's relative to our orientation here. If we're like this, the foot should be back, but also we want it out and to the side. So for communication purposes, when she says out to the side, she means out to the side and back. Because otherwise what happens, out to the side could be this. And then you're supposed to turn. Not too hard or not too easy to turn and make this square. If we do that, our knees are likely to have to take the brunt of the position. That's why if it's out and to the side and back, when I turn, I have straight foot, this foot 45 degrees, and how wide am I? Almost one square if I were to be superimposed here. But you see, now I can turn in this full position, and I'm comfortable. I'm not trying to get a tightrope where I'm like this, and one leg's this way, one leg's this way. You're out, turn. And then that allows you to do your whether you're doing here, you're coming out, square. Otherwise, what happens if you're right here and you square, you're like this. Your shoulders are not square, 90 degrees. You're still in this position. You haven't taken advantage of the power that's involved in Tai Chi movements. And she didn't yet mention it, but she did. Lucille did mention it at other times and alluded to it, the turning, especially in the brush knee. But it's a complex movement which is present in many Tai Chi movements. It's linear advancement, rotational power. Okay, you're doing 2 in 1. Advancement, rotation. If you are too much this way, you can advance. Rotation, 3/4. I mean, not even 3/4 versus if you're out here, out and to the back, full rotation. Okay, so try to remember that. Out and to the side and back, if you need it to remind yourselves. Not just out and to the side.
So you all know what I'm going to say. Don't stress, okay? Remember we said that we would learn something different and we would have fun, okay? This is part of our journey. All right, we'll come back and we'll renew, revisit whatever you don't understand and whatever I feel that you need more practice with, okay?